Ain't about to be. Oh, wait. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. I had to think about what day it was. How are you guys doing? Okay, look. So, the first thing I want to do today is I've been super into just different poems and different poets, I should say, and poems I have never read before. And today, a poem that I came across that I just wanted to start the day off with. We'll start this live off with. Sorry, y'all, I got music on. Okay, turn the music down in my ear. Okay, I want to start this poem. This off with a poem by Lucille Clifton, born 1936, died 2010. Again, this poem is by Lucille Clifton, and it's called "Won't You Celebrate with Me?" Won't you celebrate with me what I have shaped into a kind of life? I had no motto born in Babylon, both non-white and woman. What did I see to be what did I see to be except myself? I made it up. Here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight, my other hand, come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed. I think that's a very beautiful poem because it says a lot. It says that even if I was born and thought to be the worst, or even if when I born, good afternoon, Dana, or even if when I was born, or even when I was born into a world that had counted me out. And it had, basically tried to kill my spirit, kill my dreams, kill my whatever, physically kill me, whatever it may have been, oppressing me mentally. That lasts longer than the oppression we had in chains. But I'm still here fighting. I'm still a beautiful being. I still love and care, and I still, you know what I mean? So I think it's just beautiful. That's what I got out of that poem. So yesterday, I saw that there were, different topics being brought up, and one was the big topic about race. Now, that's a very deep topic, and I think it should be taken the right way. And I think that it's a conversation that's definitely needed to be had with both races involved so that they can listen and hear each other. I definitely agree with that. But I also think you can attack it like an elephant. You can't eat an elephant all at once. So we can only tackle it one bite at a time. And we have to make sure that what we do is stick to the point. As far as anything else with the lives yesterday, to me, it's not to say they were good or bad. They're neither here nor there because, like I said, the conversation of race kind of takes most of those out, except for like Siwa Moons. I didn't actually see her live last night. Where the young lady was using slurs, and one of the slurs she used on there, it is a slur that comes from cracking the whip. The person that cracked the whip on you, that name comes from that. That is where that comes from. That's where that word comes from. And it was a way to label that type of person, cracking the whip on you, the master, if you must say. Um, But see, in those discussions, you're going to have anger, you're going to have defenses and everything else. That's why you have to tackle it in a way where it's respectful. And those who just don't want to have it or be a part don't have to be a part of it. But, it's a lot. And you should have different point of views there. And it's not going to always be what everybody agrees with. So, it's definitely one of those kind of conversations. And, I feel like the start is, like I said yesterday, hey, how you doing? Says I look at it like how I said yesterday, it starts in us. The conversation starts with you. If I'm hanging with my friends, I'm not going to allow them to racial slur anyone every time we speak on them. So, one of the biggest examples I can use, because I know that racism is bigger than just black and white. You know what I mean? And it comes in many different flavors. So, when we speak of it, many people can tell their stories of how, because they were this, they've had to deal with this. When I think of racism, I think of it all. I think of Native Americans. I think of it all. I think of what went on with the Irish. I think of all of it. And it doesn't make, I'm not to say that one was they're all equal or anything else, but they're all bad things. You know what I mean? I think about the Holocaust. I think about things of this nature. So this is a big conversation because we have to take all these things into consideration. It's like if I was doing a speech in a speech class, I would have to take my audience into consideration on who is my audience that I am preparing for this speech. Who is it I'm getting ready to talk before? And then what it is I need to address and how I need to address it. And like I said, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to even bring the discussion out, and I wish that we wouldn't take situations that um, are one thing and put them all together, because there's different layers to this. There's different sides and different, everybody has a different story. And even in the good stories that I can tell, there are bad ones too. But there's a place and there's a space and there's a time for everything. You know, like I said, we can only eat this elephant one bite at a time. We can't eat this whole elephant in one sitting. We can try. I actually, I started off with a poem um, when we first came in. I don't know if you all caught it. It was at the very beginning. And like I said, I just hope everybody goes back to the beginning of it and listens to it. It's a very short poem, but I think there's power in that poem. And so, like I said, one of the biggest things I have to do is I have to respect everyone. Because, some people want respect and don't want to give it. They think they're owed it. And that is a form of its own an entitlement. Like, I don't know what made you think you was deserved it and you're not giving it. So that's what I try to give. Like I said, I don't make any of those jokes. I don't make any of those. Oh, he's Hispanic, he must do. No, I don't do any of those. I just don't. Because I know what it feels like when you're getting, because there's a difference also between prejudice and racism, racist, you know what I mean? But sometimes it starts there though, because you already have these thoughts and these beliefs. So then if anything happens like that, you're quick to go right into it. Oh, it's because they're this. And because they're this way, they do this. Oh, I didn't even see. Hey, everybody. Hey, Fiddle Love. Hey, Maria. Hey, Lady Godiva. Hey, guys. Hey, Dane, I made sure I already spoke to you. Hey, Payne, I didn't even see all you guys come in. But yeah, like I said, that's the bad eyes. But yeah, like I said, so when it comes to, talking about racism and all those type of things, like I said, you first have to decide, what is my goal? When I have this conversation, what do I want to get out of it? What do I want to achieve? Do I want to achieve that the people in this room, that we can express to each other? Because you learn different things. So in my life, who I love and who is a part of or whatever in my life, I don't look at them by their race. But there have been times in life where that has had to become a discussion. So there'll be a time when, we had our George Floyd. And we had a couple of other situations. Right now, I don't want to misname anybody because sometimes you mix names together. But we had all these situations that had to do with race, and you wondered sometimes why your certain friends didn't speak up and just say it was wrong. Why they couldn't do that. And some people are so worried about what someone else is gonna say. And so when it comes to this, it's so big that it just lets you know I'm standing there. So for example, if I hear something's going on with let's just say it's going on with Asia, or with Asians, I should say, and anyone I know who's under the Mongoloid, anyone I know in here, and this affects them, I speak up against it. And then there's some people that'll say, hey, you don't have to speak for that. People don't speak every time something happens to us. They don't have to. I am responsible for me. I am responsible to say I care, because why shouldn't I care that you're going through this? Don't loop everything up. It's like if you say Black Lives Matter, then people will say to you, then why do you take each other's lives? But if that's the case, every race has at once upon a time took its own race's life. You know what I mean? And that's not what the question is. It's just saying that I want it to matter, where it's not, and this Black person, this woman, you know what I mean? That's what it means. I want you to just care about that. I wanted to end it not to be I was a good Black person. I was a smart Black person. Because there's many. So it's so many things with the conversation, but you also have to have it in a room with people who want to have the conversation and who are ready. Because, like I said, there was a time in my life where I was so angry over things that had happened and that were still happening. And, the educational system in our neighborhoods and everything else. And I was so angry with that if I came in, I'd only come on fire. I was only coming angry and to let you know I didn't think you were better and to go off. I didn't know how to express. And then I had to also first be so proud that when we're having a conversation, I'm going to come to you with real facts. You know what I mean? Real facts, not these fake statistics that are being made up or you've made up in your head. You know what I mean? And then I'll also have to have facts on you too. Because like I said, the thing about it is that we have to have an educational conversation about it. So I think that's it. And then, because even if we tell one story, it's going to lead to other stories, and everyone's story is not going to be the same or involved by the same person. It could have been at work. It could have been when you were in a grocery store. It could have been that you have to tell your children all these things to do when the police come, other than feel safe. It's a bunch of different things. So, it's a big conversation. But I do applaud anyone trying to have or start that conversation. So, like I said, when I was watching Terry Lynn's thing, I never thought that's where the conversation was going to go. And then when it did go there, I said to myself, well, you know what? This is how we open doors. This is how you open doors for the conversation, for someone else to maybe they know another way to do it, but it has to be a conversation going on everywhere. Like I said, when I was on the documentary America to Me, one of the things when we toured, it was to have that conversation. And it's a rough conversation. And some people come in and they have all these points of why they believe it's this way. And so it's a rough one, but you got to come in positive. And you also have to come in willing to listen. You have to come in willing to listen. So like I said, that's a great start. And that's how everything begins, is with a start. So you see where it goes from there. But anything that betters us as a people, we're winning. I mean, like I said, nothing's perfect. We can only shoot to be better. It's so much we want out this world, then we got to be willing to do. You got to be willing to give. You have to be willing to, change. That's it. That's it. And it's so funny. So many people will say they want the change, but then when it comes, or if it's a chance, they run from it, or, they talk about it, or something must be wrong with her because you believe. No, it's just that way. I mean, I've seen where the fighting gonna get us, and then the next generation. So think about it. If you close your eyes for 1 second and just imagine some of the things that have went on here. Imagine what these kids go through. When I think of it that way, because as adults, some of us are strong enough to take it, keep moving, and keep fighting. But and it's worse with the kids, because they on a 24-hour, it don't stop. They get a whole bunch of people and we're doing it too, as adults. But like I said, nobody's shooting for perfection. Just, hey, if you change yourself, it's one thing at a time. That's all that counts. That's all that counts. I got so many things I still need to change about myself. So I just think to myself, you know what I mean? There's so many things. So many. I mean, so I never want anyone to ever feel like I'm even saying, oh, I got the answer. Here you go. Y'all got the question? I got the answer. I don't. I don't. I can speak what I understand, speak what I've known. You know what I mean? That's it. Yeah. Yes, that's him. And that's what I'm saying. We have so much going on. And even sometimes, have you ever noticed, guys? Sometimes, even while we're listening to what's going on or the drama, it's somebody in the comments saying, my such and such just passed. We just buried this person. Yesterday, I seen someone in the comments say that they had lost two of their children in a car accident. And I thought, wow, wow. So it's just so much going on. I think like where I could put my energy to. And like I said, don't get me wrong. If it's some things going on, I might sit there to listen to it. And there's nothing wrong with that part of it, guys. I mean, that's real life. It's gonna be everywhere. You know what I mean? Even when you watch your favorite superheroes, they gotta have a venom side so they could tell you know what I mean? Because nothing's just all that perfect. Nothing's sugar coated and sweet. But at the end of the night, we just have to have a moment where we can be like, hey, you know what? At least we can make something better. Hey, we might not ever be able to mess with each other. Hey, Susan, hey, sis, we might not be able to mess with each other anymore, but maybe we can coexist here where I don't even see you anymore. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't because the one thing about here is you could bump into anybody anywhere. Anywhere. It depends on what they chose to watch, what they chose to follow that day. You know what I mean? That's how you're going to run into them. You know when people can get under my skin the most? When I don't feel like I've made my point. So I feel like, like it's almost like you break up with that guy or whatever, and oh wait, I forgot I should have told him this. I meant to say this. I should, you know what, when he had said that's how you feel almost with some people when it feels incomplete. So every time you see him, you already know what you're about to say. They don't have to say anything. They didn't wait, they didn't even notice you was in the chat yet. And did they just pop up in there? Type it out. Let me tell them what I gotta say. And then you know what hurts worse when you giving somebody everything and telling them what you said or whatever and blah 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 when they're ignoring it. Say I'm gonna find a way to get under your skin, but usually it just probably still is getting under their skin. But that's just too much energy. You know what I mean? Like that's too much energy. I'd rather put more energy in ignoring you. Even like I said, and don't get me wrong, people done took it pretty far. But I'm at this point where it's like either we this or we that. There's no in between. It can't just be we gonna keep going back and forth. We're gonna keep talking about it because it's not getting nowhere. It's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. And then I wonder why I'm not surprised that young ladies are in high school and they are, picked and bullied and dogged and their sexuality and whatever and all this. I mean, because that's what we're doing as adults. I mean, hey, what's the next thing I can talk? Your race? Oh, let me dog that too. Oh, wait, it's sexuality? Let me dog that too. Oh, wait, your kids? Um, we calling the state on people, and there are people out here who some kid is wishing somebody would call. And they making up excuses. It might have been a bad day. It might have been, you know what, that kid probably was just being spoiled that day. And that's why you're making excuses. So that's why I said, let's not waste, hey, Queen O'Hara, let's not waste our energy and time on doing nothing but what feels good. And here's the thing. If you do any of these things and you honestly could stand in it, like if I had to do it again, I would, or I did it because of this, then that's what it is. I mean, period. That's what it is. That doesn't mean I agree or I do it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm not here to judge, but like I said, when it comes to that race conversation, it's great to have. I mean, you can start it at home with somebody. Like, hey, today they started talking about this, and I was thinking this, and you'll learn that sometimes everybody has a different view on it. So you just learn different things about it. And so that's where it starts, and you don't have to question. That's why I tell people, you don't have to explain to me who who of a different race, how close y'all been, y'all drank off the same cup. I don't need to, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't. because I feel like if you have to do that, there's a part of you that really believes you might be that way, or it might look that way, or you might have been that way, and you might have been. You might have had to learn better. You might have had to. Sometimes you just have to learn. That's it. That's it. We all have to learn. We all have to learn. Because if I'm going off of stereotypes I heard, then I'm thinking it's all this. And it's not. And then I'm not respecting what you've been through and who you are and where you come from. So that's just how I feel. And like I said, I'm not the gospel and I'm not the, the only. Oh, I've said it. I have spoken. All people follow. No. No. I'm just saying that what I've learned is how can I be, oh, I need you to respect this. And do you know we come from this? Then you start to tell me something about where your people come from. I'm like, y'all had everything. y'all was the, and I don't know. I don't know what you've been through. I was sitting talking to my buddy one day, no joke. We're sitting in the back smoking. And he's talking, and he told me how his, grandfather was a twin and he came from Italy. And that when he came out here, they were assigned names. And he's telling me this story, and I thought to myself, see, if you're not stopping to listen, I think you was that a silver spoon in your mouth? Oh, because I figured everything was perfect for you. But he explained like all these so we have to listen. And then there's somebody who'll tell you, oh, you feel bad for that. That's not as bad as 400 years. Let me tell you something. I am not here putting comparisons up. I am not, because I hear no one talking about the Trail of Tears. I hear nobody talking about it. There's so many things that we can talk about in these injustices that have been done to people. But to be heard is to recognize pain. So how dare if I think you're going to ever see mine if I can't see yours? How dare would I ever think that you would think mine was anything when I'm sitting here thinking yours is nothing? That won't justify. That won't make, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't know the measuring stick you all measure pain with, but there's not one that exists. So just for me, I say, yay, hey, this is how I feel. Because I've heard people down people like crazy. I remember after September 11th, some of my buddies, all their stores were attacked. Because you must be that, you must be this. When everything they did was the opposite of what those people who did that could have ever been. But gentrification and all kind of stuff, the things we see. So like I said, at the end of the night, for me, what I've learned works better is when I use everything I love and everything I've seen. Hey D, hey Terry. When I take everything I've seen and everything I've learned and everything I've heard, or all of that, and decide what works. So I see what's worked here and what didn't. I see this, I see that, I see what we need, and I see all this, and then I try to do that in my own ways. And all of us have been given a map. You know what I mean? Because we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose, and none of our purposes are the same. Even if we all, okay, let's just say everybody here, me and everybody in this chat, all of our purpose is to uplift. It would be to uplift in different ways because we have to bring something different because we all are a light. So here's the thing. Because you're a light, does that mean you haven't done dark things? You haven't been wrong? Yeah, you've been wrong. Whoever's saying that line, even if this was a 12-step program, we'd have to take it day by day. We'd have to take it day by day. That's why so many people tell you in numbers, I've been clean 465 days. And you think, why are they keeping a number like that? One thing, because it's day by day. And I might forget it's day by day when I start putting it in years. So now it's 5 years, I'm going on 6, so close to that 10. No, let's just take it day by day. And if day by day too much, let's take it step by step. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's the moment I believe I can never go back that I go all the way back. That's the moment I believe it. But this the moment that I know I'm gonna make mistakes. But the thing is, at least now I see where it went wrong and I try to do better on my part. I can't move for nobody else, speak for nobody else. That's how I see things. Yeah, so like I said, so I enjoy this. I enjoy the fact that there are chats and that we do have lives because you get to meet different people from different walks in different ways. And then what you learn is how much you all have in common or how much one is speaking and they're like speaking your language or they're preaching to the choir. You get what I mean? So I like these kind of things. And I think that the bad things sometimes make us forget, but we have to remember in the bad come the good. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life, I met them at the bottom. I met them in a place where most people wouldn't even probably talk to them. I met them in, you know what I mean? I met them in a place where people would have, but they were some of the best people I've ever met in my life. And I realized just treating them like a human being was the first start. You know, my auntie, when I was young, she had special needs. So when I was a kid, she kind of, looked like a kid would be if we were at Chuck E. Cheese, where it used to be Showbiz Pizza. If we were there, she's playing in the ball pit with us. She's hanging out with us. And one day I said something. I knew she's my auntie, but I said something. And they said, your auntie, they said her name. They said, she's a grown woman. I said, she's a grown woman. What? And then that night when I went home, I thought about like, would people be laughing because she's a grown woman and she's playing with us in a ball pit? Will people be laughing because she still wear her hair in pigtails and she's a grown woman? Will people be laughing? Will people be laughing? And you know what I realized? I would never do that to anyone. So from the time I was young, if I saw somebody with a special need, a special walk, a missing limb, whatever it was, I didn't stare at them. I didn't treat them any different. I definitely didn't giggle and laugh because I thought I never want anyone to do that to my auntie and how it would hurt me and it would haunt my dreams if someone was doing that to her. So that's how I looked at things. And there would be people when they went to make jokes about somebody with a disability or call them names or call them this, I'd say to myself, now try to be nice. Don't start calling them the name. They're calling somebody. But I'm going in. I'm going off. Because why are we dissing them? We always saying God made you just the way you are. Well, maybe they were made that way so that one, it could teach other people to appreciate what you have and not just that, appreciate everything God created. That's just it. That's what I got out of stuff like that. So, like I said, so somebody could be like, "Oh, Danny over here trying to make a friend." Man, you know how hard it is to become Danny's friend. That take a lot of trust, but you're gonna get respect out of me. You're gonna get somebody who is trying to get understanding before I dare to make my own, make an opinion about you. You know. So I'm none of those things. I'm just a human being. I'm really just like everybody else. I'm just like everybody else. I want the same things everybody else want out of life. I don't think none of us wake up in the morning like, oh, I hope some tragedy hit me. I hope I'm arguing with a whole bunch of mofos for don't nobody wake up like that. Even when you wake up and want to be with the shits, you don't wake up like that. When you want to be with the shits, it just means whatever comes, you ready for it. As soon as it comes, it might not even be what you think it is, but you with it already. That's what that is. It don't mean you go looking for it. It don't mean you go starting it. So that's me. So I want to make that very clear. And I want to make it very clear that it's one thing through that get understanding. We can say it's a bunch of things women do. But the thing is, we can do it, but are we going to change? And every time we stand up and do better, hey, we helping these younger girls out here have a confidence so they're not putting up with the wrong man. Have a confidence so they're not hanging out with shady chicks that's going to take them down and make them more insecure. Have them just have confidence that their beauty is in them. And they're never going to find it nowhere else if they don't find it in them first. And stay away from toxic people. You know what I mean? They toxic. They're a cancer. They're going to spread. So and know that your sisters, your brothers, they're going through something and they need you. So don't waste time on the people who don't need you because you're missing out on the people that need you. They need the best. Say, what's up, Amber? What up, sis? So I really appreciate y'all coming in and show me some love. And I'm giving love back to you. That's what we got to do. We got to do it. We got to. Because you never know. It's like when I work with the shorties, Miss Danny always give them a hug, the boys and the girls. And the boys get more compliments out of me because I always want to just keep them, feeling good about themselves. I really do. But I always hug them every day because I think to myself, you never know. They may not get a hug at all today. At all. So you got to get a love while you're there. Get the people the roses while they're there. You know what I mean? So that's the thing I love. And I love that everybody is standing in who they are. You know what I mean? I'm never ashamed of even when I was wrong, I wasn't ashamed of who I was. It's who I was. It's who I was. And I had to want better to do better or be cool and contented where I was. So I don't judge anybody. I don't. Like I said, I love y'all for real. Because that's how we got to do. We got to love each other. They say, how you love people you don't know? How do you still love people you do know? Got to have love first. So when you have it, you learn it's enough to give out. It's enough to give out. And that's all I'm on. Like I said, if anybody think that mean somebody be treating me like dirt and I'm be sitting here like a Care Bear. That's when you angry, you always thinking about what if though. Yeah, I got love too. I love you, but I wish somebody would. You gonna always go there, boy, because you just want to let somebody know. I understand. Fight or flight. I understand fed up. I understand the straw that broke the camel's back. I understand it all. I promise you that. But yeah, it is beautiful out here. No diss to nobody where it's cold. It is beautiful out here. It's like 72 degrees. So I definitely was like, I want to go outside for a little bit. It's just so warm. It's so nice. And I already know when I get back to Chicago, it'll probably be 20, 30 degrees. That'll be my welcome back weather this weekend, probably. Who knows? I don't know. But if it's 40 or 50, I'll take it. I'll take that. We call that warm round now. But yeah, ladies, gentlemen, everybody on here, I'm about to get up out of here, go take this dog out while it's still light out. And also while, you don't have the kids walking back and everything else. So it's just free to take him out for a little bit. But thank you for stopping in. Thank y'all for showing me love. Like I said on my lives, I don't like all that like, comment, share. I just came in to chit chat. Came to share some love, give some love, get some in return. You know what I mean? See how my peoples was doing. So I was just hitting the line for a minute. But yeah, that's it. So I'll probably see y'all in one of y'all chats, or maybe y'all will catch me back over here. I don't know. We'll see where we meet up again. Until then, have a good one.